Alexa Bliss is reportedly 100% heading to SmackDown. Jade Cargill is training for a WrestleMania 41 return, and ex-AEW Tag Team Champions return on last night's Dynamite. It's time for the news. So yesterday, we talked about Alexa Bliss and how discussions have taken place within WWE about her moving over to SmackDown. We have a new report from PW Insider saying that Bliss is 100% heading over to the Blue brand. She was meant to come back a few weeks ago on that January 13th episode of Monday Night Raw, and then there were reports about some sort of contractual dispute. Obviously, that got solved because she came back to a monster pop at the Royal Rumble over the weekend, and now it looks like, yeah, she's going to be heading over to SmackDown. What do you make of this?
It just seems like, yeah, kind of like what we were going to see on Raw, but didn't, maybe because they were sorting things out. It just feels like we're finally just going to get that. I thought that maybe she might stay on Raw for a little bit with the stuff that happened with Liv Morgan in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But I guess with all like the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches and this, that, and the other, maybe Alexa manages to get into that match and her and Liv have a little bit of something in there as well. I mean, I imagine that the draft won't be too long after WrestleMania, so maybe we do see Liv moving to SmackDown as well and them starting a little bit of a feud or something there.
Originally, I was like, I really want to see Goddess Alexa Bliss come back, and that's what I want to see her do. And I've given this like a lot of thought, especially after the Rumble return, which I thought was excellent. And like, people so into Alexa, so happy to see her back. And obviously, she's been through the health stuff. She's had a kid. And she'll want to honor the memory of Bray Wyatt.
Absolutely.
Of course, it makes perfect sense for her to be in the Wyatt Six. But as far as like the health stuff goes, the Wyatt Six don't do that many matches, do they? And this would probably be quite nice for Alexa to be doing that. Obviously, she'll want to do it anyway. She's been very open about the fact that doing the Wyatt stuff was the most fun that she's had in her entire WWE career. Yeah. But perhaps a lesser schedule might favor Alexa's situation as well.
Yeah, I think a lesser schedule and sort of, as we've spoke about before, the Wyatt Six are kind of like a nice blend as well of not just like the supernatural side of stuff, but also like just the wrestling side of it as well. So that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't have a Goddess Alexa within that sort of group either.
Just a slightly spookier one.
Yeah, combining the two, little best of both worlds, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, she's got the Six on the eye of the reinvented Lily the Doll, who hasn't had plastic surgery, BA. And it's on the t-shirt as well.
Yeah.
I think they might just reunite her with Nikki Cross. Get her doing some tag stuff. I think that's probably the way it's going.
I wouldn't mind that
really
either.
enjoy
they were brilliant together.
And you know, the women's division has changed, hasn't it? And I love Alexa so much, but there's sort of a new crop, isn't there? You've got other people heading up that division. It's not like 2018 anymore, where Alexa Bliss can be necessarily be at the top of that division anymore, but maybe just her in the tag scene and doing some big storyline based stuff with the Wyatt Six is the way to go. We will see SmackDown just one day away. Speaking of SmackDown, a despicable attack took place on Jade Cargill a little while ago, with her being attacked. PW Insider recently reported that Cargill, of course, has been at the WWE Performance Center training with the company under belief that she will be able to return ahead of WrestleMania 41. A new report from the Takedown on Sports Illustrated now adding to this, saying that Cargill has been actively training in an effort to get cleared as soon as possible. The nature of her injury remains unclear. If she's going to WrestleMania, it's going to be surely against the woman or man. It could be anyone.
It could be anyone
who attacked her.
Yeah.
Who do you think it is?
Bianca Belair.
You're still going Bianca?
I'm still going Bianca. Just like little bits and pieces on social media, like Naomi being like, "Oh, I miss Jade Cargill," or "I miss my Storm," or something like that, and Bianca didn't say anything. Bianca's just not posting out about her. I don't think so.
Well, maybe she's just off Twitter for a bit.
She might be.
Surely, to me, that hints at it being Naomi more than Bianca. Bianca just staying silent.
Yeah, maybe.
Naomi being a snide little bastard, going like, "Oh, I really miss my Storm."
Boo-hoo to you! Look what I've got.
It could be. I mean, the money match is obviously Bianca versus Jade Cargill.
That's it.
I think that's probably where it's going to end up going. I really can't make head nor tail of this whole Jade Cargill situation because there's been so many different reports about the fact that she was injured, she wasn't injured. Hey, she was off doing a film, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that she is training ahead of a return. Hopefully, we won't have to wait too much longer. But when those reports regarding the injury came out, quite a lot of people were like, oh, it's quite serious, this one.
Yeah.
And she might be out for some time. Oh, and I remember one report saying, oh, she's going to miss WrestleMania. So hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I thought she might have been there at the Rumble as well. But, I mean, obviously, you just got to make sure you're ready to go. With WrestleMania coming up as well, that's what you want, really, isn't it, too?
Yeah,
you want to be able to get back for that.
Looking forward to seeing her back. More return news as a WWE star returning very soon. According to a report from PW Insider, Dakota Kai is on the cusp of a return to action. She was knocked silly on January the 20th on that episode of Raw in the tag match against Pure Fusion Collective, Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. Another source reporting that WWE believe that Kai would make her return by the end of this month, if not sooner. So that's really good because it's concussion-based stuff.
Yeah.
And so obviously she's been through the test and everything, and it's looking very, very positive there. Looking forward to seeing Dakota Kai back. She unfortunately had to miss the Royal Rumble, wasn't there?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, and again, we've said this. I think it was me and you last time when we were talking about Dakota Kai as well. But God, she's been through it. She starts to get momentum, and then something always happens every single time. So hopefully, fingers crossed, with her not being away for too long, we can get back on the momentum train for her.
Let's forget it happened.
Didn't
even happen, didn't it? So we're moving on. Josh Alexander has been chatting away with Straight Talk Wrestling and talked about some scrapped potential NXT plans. So this is while he was with TNA. He said,
I will say that there was one certain situation where I was supposed to go and it did not happen. There were maybe two other situations where I was asked to go and it got shut down for whatever reason that was. No hard feelings on my end. I have options on the table, so that there are no hard feelings or nothing like that. There were definitely plenty of stories that could have been told, whether it was the North reunited for one night only, or if I went one-on-one with Ethan Page in some capacity, just because of all the history we have together. There was a lot of stuff thrown at me at certain times. Whether it's true or false, it didn't materialize for whatever reason. The timing wasn't there for it.
I wish it had. Yeah.
The timing wasn't there for it.
Josh Alexander is the bollocks. He is so bloody good. And I know he doesn't have the hype of a Jordan Grace or a Joe Hendry, and he's not like ex-WWE, he's not like Dirty Dango, you can't bring him back for a pop there. But the guy, genuinely, I think he's like a total package. He's so solid in the ring, but he's more than that. He's a really, really good, promo guy. I think he's got a strong, very well-defined character as well. To me, this is... it's not the biggest deal that we didn't see him come into NXT when he was with TNA, but I get the impression that WWE will use somebody on TV if they're with TNA that they probably want to sign in the future. They'll give him a bit of a look in, and it's like, okay, if they didn't want to use him there, are they not interested in Josh Alexander? Surely you would be interested in Josh Alexander because he's so good.
Exactly, like you said, he's the whole package. And you've got ready-made stories with people there, like Josh says, with Ethan Page as well. So you've already got programs to have when someone comes in as well. I mean, I would have loved to have seen a dream match between Alexander and Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Just a full-on wrestling. Oh, and I still want that. Maybe we'll get it one day, but I don't know.
You don't even need to, introduce his character, really, do you? You can literally bring the guy in, give him 12 minutes with somebody like Chad Gable or any member of the NXT roster and just go, this is what he's about. He's really, really good in the ring. So it'll be interesting to see what Josh Alexander does next. He was, top of his game in TNA.
Absolutely.
Doing amazing stuff. Long-time world champion for them. And it's good to hear that he's got options. There's offers on the table by the sounds of it. We finish off with the news that some ex-tag team champions returned on last night's Dynamite with Hurt Business coming out, laying out a bit of an open challenge to any team hungry enough to take on Lashley and Benjamin. And this prompted the return of
the Ass Boys. Austin and Colton Gunn, they are back. They embraced their moniker of the Ass Boys as well. And it was lovely to see because they got a huge pop as well. Like, they have definitely been missed, and their lack of presence has been felt, I feel like, within AEW. So to see them come back, to have the big pop, and understandably so as well, because they're so entertaining and yet so good in the ring too. Like, again, talk about total packages. That's what they've got as a tag team for sure.
I think they're great fun. And at the beginning, I wasn't a fan at all, and not in a kind of Healy way. I was just like, oh, okay, are these guys ready? And they've grown and grown and grown, and they've been fantastic. As you say, got a massive ovation from the crowd. People really happy to see them back. It looks, at least initially, that we're going to be seeing them as baby faces.
Yep.
Moving forward, and we're not going to have to wait too long to see them wrestle either, as that match is going to be taking place on next week's episode of Dynamite. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Adam Pachisi.
I've been Andrew.
If you want to hear about WWE 2K,
yes,
the new game that is coming out, WWE 2K25, Andrew was lucky enough to head down to London and get hands on with it.
Yeah, go for a little preview. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. Obviously, watch the video and you can see all my thoughts and first impressions on stuff. But there's a lot to look forward to. And that was only like a little, tiny, small taste of what's to come. So I'm excited to see what's in store.
Tantalizing. See you in a bit.